1 day away from the first Bengals preseason game. Tomorrow night, the Iceman, will be live in the jungle, and I cannot freaking wait. Let's go. Football is here. That's just sports, baby.
Crowd goes wild, strawberry ice bringing fire and style. Reds, Bengals, Bearcats, all in my zone. This is my stage, my mic, my throne. Boom, like a hammer, I'm breaking the game. Strawberry ice, you're gonna know my name. Sports Talk Thunder, hear the podcast roar. Cincy's fine is kicking down the door. Step into the ring where the passion ignites. Talking sports all day and all night. From the field to the court to the roaring stands. Strawberry ice with the world in my hands. Boom, like a hammer, I'm breaking the game. Strawberry ice, you're gonna know my name. Sports Talk Thunder, hear the podcast roar. Cincy's fine is kicking down the door.
Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome to the show. This is Sports with Strawberry Ice. I'm your host, Iceman Jeff Trenopole, and as always, I bring you sports from a West Side point of view right here in the great city of Cincinnati, Ohio. And as you know, as always, I'm coming to you live from this glorious, kind of messy place right now because water heater's still out, carpet's still wet, but it's still the ice cave, and I love it. We are getting to our guest right now because he's only got a certain amount of time, but we had some breaking Bengals news with Fox 19. And who better to have on the show to talk about this is the Dean of Cincinnati Sportscasters. He's the one and only Joe Danneman. What's going on, Joe?
So by you calling me the Dean, basically you're just saying I'm the old guy in the Cincinnati sports game.
Anymore, you kind of are. Everybody else is like kind of retired. Like I remember back when you started, and like you were the young, like, well, that's when we both were younger. We were the young guys, and now we're kind of the old guys now. I don't know how that happens.
Yeah, that's okay, though. That just means we're seasoned, right? We're veterans. Yes. By the way, are you wearing a Landon Robinson t-shirt?
I am, yes.
Now, that is niche, man. Is that your guy?
Yeah, I'm hoping so. I think he's going to make the team. I think he's going to have an impact this year. I don't know how big, but I think he's going to definitely have an impact more in the future. But I think he's making the team.
Let me tell you this, and this was part of a long off-the-record conversation with Zach Taylor today, but I can share this.
All right.
He's very much looking forward to watching the depth of the defensive line in Thursday's preseason opener, because we get it. Zach has a lot of responsibilities as the head coach tomorrow night. But when you ask him what he's looking forward to watching and seeing how it plays out, that was one of the bullet points he said, was seeing how the defensive line, outside of the top guys, the Dexter Lawrences, the Jonathan Allens, the TJ Slaytons, what the rest of the depth of the defensive line looks like. This is going to be the most talented defensive line he's had as a Bengals head coach. He'll tell you that, and to see it playing out starting tomorrow night, I think it's exciting for him.
Exactly. How many snaps do you think Landon will get? Do you think he gets a lot? He thinks he get a good look-see?
Yeah, he's going to, and I think they want to do that. I think those are the kind of guys they want to get 15 to 25 snaps of to make sure that, okay, we have a good feel of who this guy is, because they're going to make some hard decisions when it comes cut time, and you want to see what these guys look like in this environment. Zach is big about that, the idea of how does a guy perform when the stadium is full, when the lights are on, when the TV cameras are there. A guy can look one way at practice. How does he look like in a juiced-up atmosphere against other opponents? And I think he wants to take a long look at a guy like Landon Robinson, a guy that they put draft capital in to have a really good evaluation of this guy before they make a decision in a month.
That's why I keep thinking he's got a great shot at making the team, because from what I've heard, there were other teams lined up to sign him immediately after the draft was over if he didn't get drafted. Now with the Bengals putting a 7th-round draft pick on him, they hold those draft picks pretty high regard. I think that makes him gives him a better shot of making this roster. How much he plays, I don't know, but I do think he's got a good shot of making the team.
The hard part about that is, though, Ice, to finish this thought would be that there have been guys on that defensive line who have performed better in the offseason and so far at training camp than I think even the coaches expected. I mean, TJ Slayton has underrated been one of the really good stories of camp that, okay, he saw Jonathan Allen here. He saw Dexter Lawrence. Okay, I better pick my game up, and he has. And then there's the guys like Chris Jenkins, who's in the same boat as Landon Robinson, a guy that they invested draft capital. Now they used a premium pick on him. Even McKinley Jackson was a higher draft pick than Landon Robinson. So it's all these guys in that bucket. There's only so many spots they can give to them. And that, to me, is worth watching tomorrow night. The cornerback position battles, a lot of guys are going to get long looks at that spot tomorrow night. I know the Lions are trying to figure out who they have at wide receiver depth outside of their top guys. So you're going to see some good battles there for both teams, trying to figure out what they have in important positions, because we all know it. You play a 17-game schedule and you hope to play in the playoffs as well. You're going to need more than just your starting 22. You're going to need all 53.
Yeah, now two positions I've been concerned about is everybody keeps talking about his linebacker. The other one for me is cornerback. And Amon here wants to know, how has DJ Ivey been looking in training camp, in your opinion?
Moments, good moments, bad moments, right? The problem with DJ Ivey is so many times DJ Ivey gets ISO'd on T. Higgins. And you can be an all-pro corner. T. Higgins is still going to win plays, and he's done that. But I think DJ Ivey has been one of the winners of the process. DJ Ivey isn't just a guy that we want to see what he does here in training camp, see what he does in the preseason. The Bengals have had eyeballs on DJ Ivey for several years now and have a good feel of what he is and who he is. I would say most likely right now, okay, depending on what Tacario Davis's status is, and Tacario most likely is not going to play tomorrow night. Zach announced that during his press conference. I think you're looking at a guy who might be starting tomorrow night.
Maybe.
Because they're not going to have Dax Hill. Tacario Davis is down. DJ Ivey and DJ Turner might be your two starting guys, and I'm not sure how much DJ Turner is going to play in a game like this. So if you want a long look at DJ Ivey and some of these other guys, Josh Newton, can you take a step up and make some plays? There's a big opportunity here for these guys in front of all of Cincinnati watching to go out there and make an impression. But DJ Ivey's had good moments. He's also had moments where, two Pro Bowl wide receivers make him look bad, but they do that to all pro guys.
They do it to a lot of people.
Get in line on that one.
Exactly. So this is the question throughout training camp is, how have the linebackers looked? And my concern is the depth. Just worst case scenario, one of those guys goes down, there's not a lot behind them, to be honest. That worries me.
That's the smart point to make, is what do you have besides Demetrius Knight and Barrett Carter? And I don't know. I mean, Oren Burks.
That's it, really.
That's it. And we'll see, kind of thing. But at this point, you're banking on Knight and Carter of taking a big leap forward in year two, and everybody keeps saying they are. And it's like Matt McClain in spring training for the Bengals-Reds fans crossover here. Matt McClain set the world on fire in spring training. Everybody thought, oh, Matt McClain's back. And then look at his season. So I caution people.
193.
Even if you're hearing great things about Knight and Carter in training camp, and to the naked eye, the amateur football watcher that I am, they do look like they're playing faster. They do look like they're more comfortable. Coaches are saying that. They're saying that. But we have the right to be skeptical until we see what it looks like on Sundays in the regular season. So that's where I am with those two. I encourage fans to give Knight and Carter an opportunity. Give them a shot to improve. Don't say, look at year one, was not good enough. They missed too many tackles. They were out in the wrong spot. They seem overwhelmed. They're damaged goods. They're no good. No, erase that. Give them a shot. Almost like clean slate. Let's see what they are in year two. If everything that the coaching staff has said about them is accurate and true, these guys are going to be better in year two just because of how comfortable they feel. And when you're comfortable, you play confident. And when you play confident, you play faster. To me, Demetrius Knight has popped a few times.
Yes.
I've noticed it. Can Barrett go with him a little bit here? We're going to find out. And I'm not sure we're going to get that answer at training camp or in preseason games. I'm going to remain skeptical up until I see what they look like in real games.
Yeah, fans in general are quick to go, oh, that guy's a bust. That's not going to work. I mean, I look at it this way: as many snaps as those guys got last year, they've got to make a jump, or they grossly misread drafting those guys. Just in experience alone. And another person that people keep saying is a bust is Shamar Stewart. I'm like, you can't say he's a bust because he hasn't played, and now he's injured again. I know, and I still think that he has a shot of making an impact this year. I know I heard that he's walking around, no knee brace. Doesn't look like he's got crutches. He's not limping or anything. Zach hadn't said anything about a timetable for him yet, right?
He is not. Zach has been spooked by timetables ever since the AJ.
AJ, yes.
And I get it. To your point on Shamar Stewart, he does look like he's walking around fine, which to me feels like it's going quicker than I imagined it would, especially the way it looked when it first
the way it looked? Oh.
The word I would use instead of bust would be just incomplete.
Yeah.
We just don't know yet, right? It's like, how can you grade someone if they haven't taken the test yet?
Exactly.
He hasn't taken the test yet. Until we see what he's really about over a long stretch of meaningful snaps, it's hard to give a real grade on what he is. Now, his time in Cincinnati didn't start well with the holdout and the drama and the comments and the injuries. And, a lot of that he did to himself. Let's just be honest. He and his agent, they did it to themselves. They put a bigger bullseye, a bigger target on him to fail, and he didn't live up to it in his rookie season. But, let's not throw bust on a guy who hasn't really played yet. And I think the right word is just incomplete. We really don't know what he is until we see it.
Yeah, exactly. And that's kind of where I'm at, because I still think this year could be a big year for him, because I think with the additions that they have done to this defense, we weren't talking about Shamar Stewart. Not really. Like last year, it's like, oh my goodness, our first round pick, he's got to hit. He's got to make an impact. And he didn't. This year, with everybody that we added, they weren't really talking about him, which I think is good for Shamar, where he can actually try to develop, and some of that pressure is off of him. So I still think we might see something from him. But, okay, you got some more on that?
I will just say this, and one of my biggest talking points of the offseason is how desperate this team is for one of those edges to pop.
Yes.
Because while they look very good, if not great, in the interior, and quarterbacks will tell you this, Joe will say this, that the pressure up the middle is the hardest thing to deal with if you're a quarterback, as opposed to guys crashing down from the edge. But they need that. That's how you win football games, is guys getting to the quarterback and getting teams off schedule on drives and punting the football or causing turnovers. They need a Maffei, a Murphy, a Stewart, a Howell, if not multiple of those guys to assert themselves and take a leap and become, and this is the fashionable word that we use with Trey Hendrickson, the closer. And I'm not, obviously, no one's expecting any of these guys to go out and lead the league in sacks like Trey Hendrickson did. But if one of these guys can be, or two of these guys can be the guys that you can rely on for important fourth quarter moments, say you're up 3 against the Buccaneers and there's a minute and a half to go on the clock and Baker Mayfield has the ball on his own 40, and who's going to make the play?
Right.
Who's going to be on the field? Right. Who do the
Exactly.
Bengals trust? I think we all think it's Maffei and Murphy. But week 10, week 13, playoff games, is that the time when Shamar Stewart and Cassius Howell have kind of worked themselves into those meaningful snaps after showing the coaches what they can do throughout the season? So they need multiple guys at that position to really assert themselves this year. And I'm fascinated if it can be one of those young guys that can oversee Maffei or Murphy for really important snaps late in games.
Exactly. Now, I know you got to get out of here soon, but I do want you to talk about the great news that you guys had at Fox 19. And you, my friend, are going to be extremely busy man. You've already been busy. You and Jeremy and Gabby during the football season. You're going to be even busier now. Tell everybody what's going on with Fox 19 and the Bengals now. There
are moments in your life when you wish you could go back and tell your younger self that this is going to happen.
Right.
And you'd be like, no way. Right? To get to be a part of live game coverage of the Bengals from a guy that grew up in the Cincinnati area is a box I never thought it would check. So the big news for me personally is you'll see me starting tomorrow night as the sideline reporter for the preseason games on Fox 19 now. That's the Lions game and the Bears game. I'll be the guy doing the interviews on the sideline, talking to Zach Taylor as they go into the locker room at halftime. I've got some few stories that I'd like to tell throughout the game as well on some great players doing some amazing things at training camp that aren't just Joe, Jamar, T, and Dexter. There's a lot of other guys on this team who have great stories. But we've also announced today that we're extending our partnership with the Bengals as the flagship TV partner through 2031, which is a huge deal because a couple of years ago when this was dropped on my table in front of me by my general manager, it was so overwhelming that you've done it a certain way for so long, and then you have to recalibrate yourself and put so much of your energy towards Bengals coverage. Like, am I going to do this right? Am I going to do it well enough? Am I going to do it well enough that the Bengals will want to continue the partnership? So after doing it for 2 years, the fact that the Bengals felt comfortable moving forward with us for an even longer amount of time is something I'm proud of because of the work we've done to try to showcase this team and try to do good work around them and be good partners. So that's exciting for us. I truly believe this, and I will say this, and this is not just humble speak. The real star of today's announcement is Tony Pike. For Tony Pike to be joining the Bengals radio broadcast team throughout the entire season. Now you have Dan Lapp and Tony Pike. Those are three awesome people for Bengals fans to have covering their team and broadcasting the team's games. They all have different personalities. They all have different perspectives, but each of them brings something different to the table that I think is so beneficial to the Bengals fan. Tony is so smart and so good at what he does when he does UC games. He's only going to get better and better at doing Bengals games. He's the star here. The other thing, too, is kind of cool. I get to do some radio.
I know. You and Dan Horde get back together again.
Dan Horde and I, my old boss, Dan Horde, here at Fox 19. I used to have to edit for him and get his scripts and get him dinner and whatever I had to do to be a good coworker for Dan. Yeah, I was kind of his apprentice here at Channel 19. And now we're going to be doing the Bengals pep rally show on the radio Fridays from 3 to 6 o'clock. And I told Dan this today. I said, hey, I'm going right out to high school games after that radio show. I'll bring a camera. If you want to go out and grab a couple of high school games, I'll send you to the pit. Go get us some Moeller and Elder, and we'll show it on the final quarter that night. But to your point about being busy, I mean, holy cow.
Yeah.
It's a lot. But it's exciting, and it's an honor that people would want me to do these kinds of things, that would choose me to do these kinds of things, and it's on me now to go out and execute it. So where I was 2 years ago, wondering, man, am I going to be able to do this? Here I am again today, wondering, man, I'm going to be able to do all this. We'll figure it out one way or the other.
Hey, man, like I always say, God never gives you any more than you can handle. Apparently, you can handle a lot, Joe. And dude, I've told you this before. You guys do a great job. You guys are my favorite TV sports broadcasts to watch. I watch all of them. I'm always tweeting you guys out and sending you your comments and stuff. But I think you guys do an absolute awesome job. I love Bengals now. I go there as many times as I can. I'm going to try to figure out where you guys are for the Bengals pep rally and show up there from like 3 to like 4 o'clock. Then I got to hurry up and get home and do my show. But I love everything you guys do. You guys do an excellent job, and I think you guys are the best in the city, in my humble opinion.
Well, I have to get on the show here in a few minutes, but I do want to say this before I go, and I say this every time I come on your show, how much I want to congratulate you and thank you for your energy and your passion for what you do as someone who's in the business of what you're doing right here. It takes a lot more effort, time, thought than anyone could imagine that you put into this, and you do it with a smile and you do it with an energy that a lot of people would be jealous of, including myself. I don't know where you get the energy and the positive attitude at all times. It blows me away, and you should be congratulated for everything you do. And I always enjoy talking to you, and I thank you for all the support you give us because it's genuine. It comes from a great place, and we appreciate that. It's folks like you who make the job a lot of fun and a lot easier than it would be.
Hey, Joe, like I said, I'm glad you guys give me the time of day. So I appreciate everything you guys do. And go get on TV, man. I'll see you. Maybe I'll yell at you on the sideline from the stands if you can hear me.
It's hard because everybody yells Joe, and I know they're not talking to me.
Well, I'm
like, are you
pretty
talking
loud.
about Burrow? You're talking about Flacco?
I'm like, Joe, damn it! You know, like I
Yeah.
did at training camp.
Just yell yeet. Yell yeet, and
Yeet.
I'll be able to figure
I
that
got
out.
you. I'll yell yeet. All right. Thanks, Joe. See you, brother.
The ice.
See you, dude. All right, guys. Joe Damon is freaking awesome. All Fox 19 guys on there. Jeremy, Gabby. I haven't met the new guy, Cole, yet. I haven't met him yet, but I'm sure he's awesome, too. They're all great, great people. And, again, my humble opinion, they are the best. And I don't care what anybody, I know all the other guys, but I love Joe and Jeremy and Gabby. They are freaking awesome. So you guys can go watch Joe do his sportscast and then come back to the show because I'll be on here talking to myself for a while. We'll be hanging out here till about 6:30. But I don't know what you guys. I am excited about tomorrow night. I mean, hopefully it won't rain, because I don't know about you guys. I am sick and tired of water because like I said, before I went on vacation, my water heater broke. After the show tonight, I'm going to go get a water heater, and hopefully it's getting installed tomorrow. My carpet is probably ruined. I got fans down here. The ice cave's a disaster. It's raining like crazy. My son and his wife lost power, so they're still out of power. So they're all staying at my house, which is kind of cool. It's kind of cool to have my family, all my family under one roof again. My son was telling me last night, he goes, man, he was talking to me and his son. This is the first time I've slept at this house in like 6 years. I'm going, really? It's been that long? Like, wow. Time flies, man. But hopefully tomorrow, knock on wood, pray to God, everything. We have no rain because they're saying from Fox 19, it's going to rain, but it could be later. So hopefully it's after the game. And if it is, it's not that big of a rain because we were driving home today to hurry up and get here because I had to run around and do a whole bunch of other stuff. And by the way, I got to give props to Joe again here real quick because Nehemiah was going to join the show, but he couldn't because he has no power. I'm scrambling trying to find people to come on the show. And so I text Joe. First of all, I congratulated Joe on his new deal with Bengals, the Bengals now, which he gets to do sideline reporting and the pep rally and all that stuff. And then I'm like, well, probably won't be able to come on, but I'll shoot him a text like, hey, I don't have a guest today. Like the guest who's going to be on doesn't have power. Any chance you can jump on for 5 minutes? And he's like, yep, I'll be on the top of the show. And he went on for 20 minutes. So I appreciate that's the kind of guy Joe Damon is. He's good-hearted, good dude, and I'm glad I get to call him a friend. But back to the rain. I'm tired of the rain. All right, let's get into some Bengals talk. Actually, let me go do the Reds here real quick. I haven't said anything about the Reds. This is the lineup for tonight. Ellie De La Cruz, South Day, Stewart. I'm going to mess his name. Tongal. I think he's the one who got the hit last night and scored one of the runs in the 8th inning rally. Rodriguez right field, Trevino's catching, TJ Fried on center field, and Matt McClain is your second baseman, and Rhett Lauder is starting tonight. Real quick on the Reds, and we'll get back to the Bengals talk here. Watching them last night was fun, but also frustrating because, like, why can't that be more consistent? Why couldn't they do that more times this year? Because there's so many games this year that we got to 4-0. And he was pitching a no-hitter through like the first, 5? And we thought, this game's over. I still kept watching. But they came back. And they ended up winning it in the night. And Pagan has been nails since he's got back from the IL. Had a 18-pitch at bat versus one of the White Sox. I can't remember his name, but got it done. I'm like, this is the stuff we want to see all year. We would have saw this in May, June. It would have been a lot better. But those 2 months, they stunk. And the bullpen has been probably the best bullpen in Major League Baseball since the All-Star break. Where was that in May and June? It's just frustrating. Okay, let's see here. Christopher, what's up, man? Let me say hi to the chat here first. I didn't get a chance to do this yet because, well, Joe jumped on and I knew he could only be on for a little while. First on the board is Brad. So, Brad, Congratulations. You beat Stranger. Stranger, you're second place again. I don't know what's going on with you. Just kidding. Juggle Podcast in there. Williams in there. Mon's in there. That person. I cannot say that at all. But you do love some Joe D. Yeet. Andrew's in there. Who else is in there? Mike's in there. Adam's in there. Holmes is in there. Anybody else? Williams, what's up? And Crypt Keeper, where have you been? What are you saying here now? Things as starting to change in Cincinnati. We no longer care what someone in Bristol, New York, or Indiana. We are the big critics. Our hometown sports announcers' words mean more. Who dey? Yeah, exactly. And KP from KC, what up? What's going on? All right, I think that's everybody. So I saw somebody saying something about the sacks. All right, Adam. You're saying Murphy 10+ sacks, calling it now. He's looked good since the day he got here, but never got the snaps. I agree with you on he's never got the snaps. That's one thing that irritated the crap out of me with Lou Anarumo. And at one point I was going to say when Joe was talking about our edges, I really do think Murphy and Mafe are going to be our sack leaders, sack 1 and sack 2. I don't think we're going to have a dominant one like he says, like Joe said. He don't think we're going to have a dominant one either, like Trey was. But I think Miles Murphy and Boye Mafe, they're going to be our top. They're going to be double-digit sacks, I think. So that could be 10+, which would be freaking awesome. Because Boye Mafe was a very productive player, rotational player, but very productive in one of the best defenses in football last year. So if he can bring the production he had last year in a limited role, and he has that same amount of production in a higher role, it should equal out to more sacks and more productivity for the Cincinnati Bengals, and that's what they're counting on. And Miles Murphy, he's betting on himself. He's going in there, and I still think the Bengals should have gave him that 5th-year option. I wish they would have. I think they made a massive mistake. Hopefully, they'll sign him before the season starts because you still got that contract where they redid Joe's contract, so you got money. Where I want to sign him, I want to sign DJ and Dax. And did you see the play that Jordan Battle made in practice yesterday? I think we're going to have a big year from Jordan Battle, too, because of Brian Cook. Now, Brian Cook, unfortunately, is not going to play tomorrow night. I think he's got a little hamstring thing or something that he pulled up. Everybody saw it, pulled up a little bit, chasing Jamar Chase on Friday's game inside Paycor. But this defense is loaded. Again, like I told you, my only concern really is the depth at corner and the depth at linebacker. Because we'll just talk about it tomorrow night. And I love DJ Ivey. DJ Ivey's my dude. He's come to the Jackpot Joey golf outing a lot. He's a great dude. I hope he gets a ton of snaps tomorrow night and plays awesome. But he's never really been a starter in the NFL. And I'm more concerned about the slot. Who is in there? That's where I keep saying, if Bobo plays as good as I think he is, that's where Dax might be pushing into the slot more than he wants to. We'll see what happens. Let's see here. Yeah, all right, Adam. Talk about the Reds. Yeah, definitely bittersweet watching last night. Still exciting win, though. It was a great win. And as I said, I'm still going to be watching the Reds. I'll watch them tonight. Paul here. Lou had confident issues with our defense. That's why I'm glad we have Al Golden. He utilizes our talent. True, but also Al wasn't given much of an option last year. There were no veterans on this team. If they were, they traded them, and they weren't any good. I mean, he was forced to play the linebackers as much as he did. I think his plan was they learned from Logan Wilson, but unfortunately Logan Wilson was so bad that they're like, well, might as well just play the rookies and they ended up trading Logan Wilson, and last year ended up being Logan Wilson's last year in the NFL. He retired. So I agree with you, Paul, to a certain extent. I do think Al is more willing to play the rookies. I don't think he wanted to play as many as he did last year. And I said this last year. They're putting off a lot of eggs in the Al Golden basket. This year, he's got stuff to do. This year, we're really going to see the Al Golden defense because he's got so many guys, proven players, which I can spin this to the Reds, what me and Paul Fisher were talking about yesterday were all Reds, well, I won't say all Reds fans, but a lot of Reds fans are programmed to think we have to go get prospects who might be good. Well, we had a whole bunch of prospects last year on the Bengals defense, and they weren't any good. We've had lots of prospects from the Reds come up, and they haven't been any good. You need proven NFL talent. You need proven major league talent. I'm not saying you got to go get a guy who hits 40 home runs. Hell, get a guy who hits 270. At least have that as a consistent player for you. That would help. If you had a couple more guys on this offense that hit around 270, we'd be in a much better spot. That's all I'm saying. So if the Reds can take anything away from what the Bengals did, because the Bengals went all young last year, or really young last year with the defense, and you saw what happened. Yeah, they got better, but aren't you glad they added the players they did on top of the young talent they have on that defense? I am. That's what I think the Reds should do. But we'll see. Let's see. Mike Madden. Hopefully Mafe can stop the run. Trey wasn't a run stopper. Trey was not a run stopper, and I've said this from the get-go. I'm playing the Ratbirds. I'm running Chase Brown right at Trey Henderson until he proves he can stop him. Let's see, Crypt Keeper, what do you got here? Jethro, will this mean tomorrow night be the first time seeing the Bengals football game not hammered? No, I've done it before, not very often. But this will be the first entire season of not drinking at Bengals games. And thanks, buddy. Appreciate it. So congratulations. Thank you. It's been since January. But whatever it is, 9 months, 6 months, I don't know. However long it is. But yeah, I quit drinking and doing great, and still the same crazy loud guy I was before. Just don't do dumb stuff anymore. Chris, haven't seen a tornado in Cincinnati since I was a kid and Mount Healthy. That's the thing is, did we actually have tornadoes in Cincinnati last time? I know we had wind. I know in Kentucky, they had like 81 mile an hour winds. I think we had like 60 mile an hour winds around here. It was intense. Nope, I did not drink on vacation. I haven't drank alcohol since January. So, nope. And trust me, I was around a lot of people that were hammered. A lot of my family members. And I wasn't drinking. And so, yeah, it was, you know what? You think you're really funny when you're drunk, but you're really not. You're really annoying. Yeah, just my 2 cents there. Let's see. Matt. I want to see good tackling. Good tackling and more good tackling. Attacking killed us. Yeah, I can't disagree with that point at all. That is going to be very interesting to see how good, because I know Brian Cook is a very good tackler. He's not going to be playing. I can't wait to see Dexter. I want to see Dexter tackle somebody. But that's been a huge issue for the last 2 years on this defense. Of not being able to tackle guys and get them to the ground. So the ones I'll be interested, has Jordan Battle got better at that? Has the younger guys, the linebackers, have they gotten better at that? Because they're the ones that were here last year missing tackles. So have they improved upon that? That'd be something interesting to watch tomorrow night. Because that's all technique. It doesn't matter if it's preseason, training camp, a regular season game. Tackling is tackling. You either know how to tackle somebody or you don't. You've either gotten better or you haven't. Hopefully, we've seen some signs of improvement on that. Let's see. GC3, what's up? We had was that a drink? And San Antonio a couple weeks of wild stuff. Oh, tornado. My bad. Tornado. You had a tornado in San Antonio. Ooh. Yeah, I've never, we had a tornado in my old house. My Mrs. Ice's old house just before we even had kids. We had those, if you guys been here, we had those tornadoes in 99. And the funnel cloud went over our house. It never touched down because I always say on the west side here, we're too hilly and nothing's flat around here. So it's hard for tornadoes to actually touch down. That's why if you go on the east side where my son lives, we drove there last night after the show to try to go. Well, one, I had to cut a tree out of the way so his wife could get the car down there so they could pick some stuff up to come back to our house. It took us forever because there's so many roads that were closed because of trees being down or wires being down or whatever. And you didn't see there's trees down, there's power lines down here, but it didn't say there's as many road closures on this side of town as there was on the east side. I'm a west sider, but I'm not saying anything bad about the east side. I actually getting to know the east side a lot better since my son moved over there, and I actually like it. It's kind of nice. Crip, would you imagine? Oh, wow. Could you imagine if a tornado got inside Nipper Stadium? They would never get it out. It just dropped down in there and just stay in there. Mike Madden, you can't afford alcohol. That's good. You don't need it anyway. Alcohol is expensive. You know what's funny, though? If you buy the non-alcoholic beer, it's actually more expensive than the alcohol. It's annoying. It's kind of like if you're ever trying to buy healthy food, it costs you more than the crap does. I can buy a bag of chips for $2. I want to buy some carrots or celery or something. It's $4. What the heck? It's hard to eat healthy. They make nothing easy, nothing at all. So just to let everybody know, the tailgate that we'll be doing at the Logger House will not be happening tomorrow night. We don't do it until the first game of the regular season. You can go down to the Logger House and enjoy some beverages down there, some adult beverages, some non-adult beverages, whatever you guys want. I'm sure they'll be having some deals going on down there. I know Bengal Bob Squad is going to be over at Hilltop. Cap's going to be over there. I'm not really sure where I'm going to hang out tomorrow night because it's preseason. Nobody's we're all happy football's back, but nobody's it's not close to the first game of the season. I mean, so it's a chilled out more tailgate scene. And the interesting thing is what's going to happen to everybody who goes to Longworth, because I drive by there every day going to work, and I thought I read a sign saying that they can't park down there, at least for the preseason. I guess because the construction is going on too much. I don't take my word for that, but that's what I kind of thought. They were blocking it off. They just had a sign there. I think if you work there, you can obviously park there. But it'll be curious to see where people migrate to with the tailgate scene this year. But yeah, I might be over at Bomb Squad. I might be over at Longworth or the Logger House. I'm not sure, but hey, if you guys see me tomorrow night, come up and say hi. Always appreciate people not necessarily recognizing me, but come up and talking and saying hi. It's always a cool thing. But with that being said, I think I'm going to end this here. We're at 44 minutes. Joe D is awesome, and he's going to be having a sports cast here soon. So maybe I'll go watch it, and who knows? Maybe he'll shout me out there. But honestly, go watch Fox 19 Plus. If you guys like Crib Keeper, you're in Myrtle Beach, or anybody who's not in Cincinnati, you can go download Fox 19 Plus on your phone, Roku, anything like that. And they've got the Cincinnati Sports Show. They got all their Bengal updates and everything on there. They're going to have Bengals Now on there. It's a really cool thing. You watch almost all their sports broadcasts if you can't watch it here live in Cincinnati. And they do, like I said, they do an awesome job. I really wish that 30 years ago, when I tried to break into TV broadcasting, I knew a guy as nice as Joe then. Because back then, there wasn't a whole lot of nice guys. They were not so nice. We'll just put it that way. I'll just keep it that way. It made it harder to break in. And I think Joe, honestly, from his heart, likes people and wants to help people. Same with Jeremy. I think Jeremy likes people and sincerely wants to help people. And they enjoy their job. So it's Gabby. Gabby's awesome too. Anyway, enough of the sappy stuff. Let's get to the commercials. Shout out to our sponsors, T Properties, quality housing for quality people. Check out their website at www.tpropertiesllc.com for all your rental property management needs and your rental needs. And Party Lawn and Landscaping for all your lawn and landscaping needs. I don't know, you need your grass cut, you need a paver patio, you need anything. I mean, anything. Maybe you're a do-it-yourselfer. Maybe you want to buy some mulch, some gravel. Think Party Lawn and Landscaping. And, of course, Marr Window, Doors, and more. I got them in my house. I highly recommend you get them in yours. Marr Window, Doors, and more. And, of course, my favorite brewery, Cincinnati Lager House. Go on down there to the banks. Get you some delicious Lager House beer, some delicious Lager House food. And, of course, tell all my sponsors you heard about them from Sports with Strawberry Ice. Again, shout out to all my great sponsors. The Lager House, Marr Window, Doors, and more. Prior to Lawn and Landscaping. Guys, use any of that stuff, which I hope you do. Tell them you heard about it from Sports with Strawberry Ice. It would just help me out. And yes, Crip, if you download Fox 19 Plus, you could see Gabby. That doesn't sound creepy at all. Crip Heber. But as always, thanks for watching. I've been live streaming YouTube, Facebook, X, Twitch, Instagram. You can follow me on all those, along with Threads and TikTok. And check out my Substack. I got to write something on there. I haven't written anything in a while, but I do write some stuff on there from time to time. So I appreciate you guys. Go subscribe to it and tell me you like it. Tell me you don't like it. Whatever. And if you haven't subscribed to the show yet, please do. Tell your friends to subscribe to Sports Strawberry Ice. If you're watching me on Twitter or Facebook or Instagram or Twitch, go to the YouTube channel, Sports with Strawberry Ice. Hit the subscription button. Hit the bell for the notification. So every time I go live, you'll be notified. I would greatly appreciate it. Helps me out a lot. For those of you who listen to the podcast, and there's not many of you, but I know a certain one in England, Tom, listens to it all the time. Tom, I promise I'm going to get all three of these podcasts up on Beanpod, Apple iTunes, Spotify, Google, Stitcher, but pretty much wherever Tom or you guys listen to the podcast. And when you do, especially you, Tom, because I know you listen, rate it, like it, review it, leave a 5-star review and a comment. So more Cincinnati fans can find my podcast. Get you some. What is up? You ready for some football, baby? First time I've seen you on here. What's going on? If you guys have not followed, you got to follow Get You Some on TikTok. He's freaking awesome. He sat in front of me last year, I think about 2 rows up in front of me. He's a cool dude. Make sure you guys follow him on definitely TikTok or whatever else he's got on there. So I know he's fired up for tomorrow night. I am fired up. I cannot wait. I think that's it. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Oh, show's going to be at noon tomorrow. I got Trags on tomorrow because we're going to go down and tailgate. Well, Trags won't be. Trags will be working. So mark your calendars. Mark the time tomorrow at noon. I'll be back on. Other than that, remember one thing and one thing only. That's Houday for life. Throw it up. That's just sports, baby. See ya!
Another great show. You guys still here? The show's over. You can come back tomorrow. I'm out of here. See ya.